everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Welcome to Desert Lotus Yoga, Albuquerque, New Mexico. My name is Holly and I'm going to guide you through about a 45-minute practice today. So we are going to start off on our backs today in Shavasana. Just allowing the feet to come down to the end of the mat, allowing the hands to rest gently by the sides, palms facing up for receiving or down for releasing. And just take a moment to come into your breath, to come into your body. Allow yourself to just be here, just be present. So much stress going on in the world right now. We need to be able to find a place of peace, even just for a few minutes out of our day. Noticing the breath as it moves in and out through the body. Never judging, just noticing how our body is feeling today, where we might be holding tension. Let's take a few deep grounding breaths to begin. So inhale through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top and release through the mouth for around 8 counts. Elongating that exhale, breathing all that air out, and then breathing in again for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top and exhale all that air out the mouth. Last time, inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top. Take one more little sip of air and release. Tapping into our parasympathetic nervous system here, allowing our body to relax. We're going to move into our Ujjayi breath now, taking the breath in and out through the nose for about 4 or 5 counts. Matching the inhales to the exhale. Creating a slight smile on the back of the throat, creating a ha sound as we exhale through the nose. Feeling a breath swirl on the back of the throat, taking it deep into the lungs. Filling the lungs, filling the belly, feeling the chest rise. And then exhaling through the nose, feeling the belly drop. If it's within your practice, please ask yourself for an intention now. Your intention for this class might be a prayer. It might be a mantra, maybe a goal you're working towards, or maybe it's just a word for you to focus on for the next 40 minutes, guiding you through your practice. And once you have that intention, bringing the hands to heart center, placing that intention between your palms and begin to rub the palms back and forth, creating some friction, creating some energy here. And then placing those palms one on top of the other over the heart. Allowing that intention to seep into every fiber of your being. Just take a couple of breaths here. And when you're ready, we're going to place the arms out by our sides, coming into airplane wings or cactus arms. Out wide or cactus arms. Raising the knees up to the sky, soles of the feet come to the mat. We're going to gently just start shifting the hips back and forth, windshield wipering our knees. Starting to open up the hips, opening up that lower spine here. And on our next exhale, we're going to take those knees and let them drop over to the right. Just allowing the knees to relax here. And then taking the eye gaze over the left fingertips, allowing that spinal twist to come all the way up through the neck, keeping the shoulders on the ground. If your shoulders start to peel up, just bring those knees back up a little bit. You can always place a block underneath your knees to give yourself a little more support. One more breath here, and then we'll inhale those knees back up to center. Windshield wiper back and forth once or twice. And then on the next exhale, let's let those knees drop over to the left, allowing the eye gaze, the head and the neck to follow the right fingertips. Finding that nice deep spinal twist here. Take one more deep breath, allowing gravity to just drop those knees down a little bit further. And with the next inhale, bringing the knees back up to center. Windshield wiper back and forth once or twice. And then we'll bring our palms down by our sides. Heels come 3 or 4 inches below the glutes here. We're setting up for our bridge pose. So our palms are going to be pressing into the mat, heels pressing into the mat. And on our next inhale, we're going to lift those hips all the way up to the sky. You can stay here, or if it's in your practice, take those hands underneath the glutes, rolling those shoulders down and back, allowing that heart chakra to open up to the sky, pressing through the heels, squeezing the glutes, holding our bridge pose, affirming to ourselves, I am open to the wisdom and guidance of the universe. Take a deep inhale. Let's drop those hips 2 or 3 inches and then raise them back up, squeezing the glutes, pressing the hips open, shining that heart. Take a nice deep breath here. Drop it down 2 or 3 inches. Last time, take those hips all the way up to the sky. Taking it to your edge here for 3, 2, and 1. Gently lowering back down to the mat, 1 vertebrae at a time. Taking those knees into the chest, giving yourself a nice big hug here. Maybe rocking back and forth on that lower spine if it feels good. And then bring that forehead up to the knees, rocking back and forth on the mid-spine. Taking a nice deep squeeze, deep breath, and bringing it all the way back down. We're gonna grab onto the back of our thighs here. Take a few rocks back and forth. If this is not in your practice, you can always just swing your shins out to the side and press yourself up gently, coming up into a seated position. We're going to come into our seated Dandasana pose, seated stack pose. Our toes are pointed back at our foreheads, shifting that booty flesh out of the way if you need to. We're going to take a nice deep inhale all the way up and forward fold here. Just reaching as far as your body wants to go today. Taking a half lift, crown of the head comes up to the sky. And exhale, hinge at the waist, bringing that crown of the head down to the toes. Deep inhale, and let's sit it all the way back up. So coming into seated Dandasana, we're going to bring that left foot all the way into the right thigh. Taking our left hand, we're going to rotate it all the way back behind us. Reaching that right hand up to the sky, shooting the right hip all the way up. Reaching, 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 finding as much length between the right fingers and the right toes as you can. Taking a nice deep breath, filling up that lung with fresh air, and then pulling it all the way back down, dropping the hip, reaching those left fingers up and over to the outer edge of the right foot. Aiming to keep our shoulders square to the ground here. Just reaching as far as your body wants to go today. And then when you're ready, let's reach it all the way back up. Left hand comes behind, shooting that right hip up. One more time. Lengthen through that right side body. Take a deep breath. And bring it back down. Hip comes down, left hand reaches up and over to the outer edge of the right foot. Just reaching wherever your body is able to go. Never judging when we're on our mats. And bringing it back up to a seated position. Left leg comes to meet the right. Take it all the way up. Deep breath, inhale, and hinge forward at the hips, reaching down for the knees, the shins, the ankles. Take a deep breath, half lift, forward fold, Paschimottanasana. And bring it all the way back up to seated. We're going to take our modified wild thing from the right side now. So our right foot comes into the left thigh. Reaching that right fingertip all the way up. Coming back behind us, planting it down. Left hand, left hip shoots up to the sky. Reach those left fingertips all the way back. Finding as much length as you can between the left toes and the left fingers. And then drop that left hip back down. Right fingertips come to the outer edge of the left foot, keeping those shoulders nice and square to the ground. Just reaching as far as your body will allow. Never a competition in yoga. And inhale those fingertips all the way back up, reaching behind us, coming up one more time. Into modified wild thing on our right side. Reaching through the fingertips. Inhaling in deep into that chest. And dropping back down. Reaching forward over to the outer edge of the left foot. And coming back up. Bringing right foot to meet the left. We're going to take one more deep inhale here and fold it forward. Seeing if you haven't found just a little more length in those hamstrings and the hips. Just trying to find the openings here. Lift it halfway and reach the crown of the head to the toes. Coming on up here, we're gonna come on into our Padmasana, easy pose, lotus or half lotus. Reaching the hands up to the sky, taking a deep inhale, bringing the hands back down to the knees. Fingertips are going to gently pull back on the kneecaps here. We're gonna shine our chest, shine our heart chakra, and then drop that chin all the way down to the chest. Finding length in the back of the neck and looking up all the way to the sky. Reaching the chin, opening the throat chakra, and then dropping the chin back down, taking some head swipes here from left to right, finding some opening in the neck. And then we're going to come back to center, eye gaze forward. We're going to start with our Kundalini spirals here. So we're going to find a little motion, a little micro spiral in the bottom of the belly. Starting down low, starting small, bringing that energy in, starting to lift the energy up the Sushumna, starting to spiral a little wider here, bringing in the rib cage, the abdomen, up to the chest. Get those shoulders involved, and the head and neck, aiming to keep those sits bones nice and firm on the ground. Spiraling the energy all the way up the spine, and coming to stillness. Let's take those spirals the other direction, starting wide. Starting with the head and neck, starting with the shoulders. Get the chest involved. Breathing, never forgetting our breath. Taking that energy down the Sushumna. Making our spirals a little bit smaller here as we come all the way down to those little micro spirals right below the belly button. And coming back to stillness. Inhale, hands all the way up overhead. Taking our spinal twist to the left. Right hand comes to left knee. Left hand comes behind us. Inhaling, crown of the head to the sky. With every exhale, find a little more depth in your twist. Never forcing our twists, using the breath to take us deeper. One more breath. And inhale those hands all the way up and twisting to the right. Left hand comes to right knee. Right hand comes behind us. Eye gaze over the right shoulder. Lifting up, inhaling, crown of the head to the sky. Exhaling, twisting a little deeper, finding that nice massage for those internal organs here. And inhale those hands all the way up, bringing them back down to your knees. We're going to roll over those shins or swing your shins out to the side and come meet in tabletop position. We're going to flow with our cat-cow here, inhaling into cow, dropping that belly down, hips up to the sky, collarbone is nice and wide. And exhale, push the mat away from you, rounding and curling the back, pressing those tops of the feet into the mat, pressing the palms into the mat. Inhale, drop the belly. Collarbone opens wide, moving with your own breath here. Finding a few few sets of traditional cat-cow. Inhaling and exhaling with your breath. And then, after a few sets of traditional cat-cow, move into some organic movements here. Maybe finding some hip spirals. If you take them in one direction, make sure to balance out taking them in the other direction. Maybe finding some C-spines, looking over one shoulder towards your toes, and then looking over the other shoulder. Finding whatever movements work with your body. Finding those areas of tension that are unique to your body and working through them. Using the breath. And let's take a deep inhale, push it back into child's pose here. If it's more comfortable, you can open those knees up wide, dropping the belly in between the knees, coming into peaceful warrior. Forehead comes down to the mat. Press into those fingertips to engage the shoulders here. One deep breath, and then let's press it back up into our tabletop. We're going to move into our tiger pose here. So we're going to take our right leg and bring it all the way back behind us in a nice straight line. And you can stay right here for tiger, but if you'd like to move into the arm balance, we can take that left arm and bring it out in front of us. Holding it here, eye gaze is down on the mat, head and neck is neutral. And then let's take that left elbow to the right knee, coming in to our tiger crunches, reaching, elongating, fingertips away from the toes, and then crunching elbow to knee. Reaching and crunching. Taking 3 to 5 more of these tiger crunches. And then coming back to stillness. And if it's in your practice, reaching those left fingertips back towards the right toes, coming into dancing tiger. If you amplified into dancing tiger, bring that left hand back down. We're going to bring the right knee is going to come out to the side. We're going to extend that right foot all the way out and place it down. Lifting back, lifting up, coming into our gate pose here. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, hands come up overhead. Right hand reaches down the right leg and left hand reaches up overhead. Maybe taking that eye gaze to the left elbow, finding that nice length, that opening in the left hip, left side body. And then inhale up to center. Exhale, left hand comes down by our side. Right hand reaches up and over. Finding length here. Reaching those fingertips away from the toes. One more deep inhale here. Inhale, coming up to center. Reaching over. Left hand comes up overhead, right hand reaches down the right leg. Breathing deeply here. Gate pose is amazing, respiratory pose. Help clear out those lungs. Reach that left hand down to the mat, right hand comes over. Take those deep breaths. 2 more here. And coming up, we're going to bring our hands down to the mat. Right foot comes back in and meet in tabletop position here. Meeting back in tabletop. take a few of our cat-cows here. Inhaling, exhaling, resetting the spine. And then we'll move into our tiger on the left side. So lifting up the left leg here, reaching, pointing the toes away from you, maybe flexing the toes back. And then reaching that right hand out, fingers stretching away from toes. And then bring the elbow to meet the knee, crunching in, finding your stability here, finding your strength. Taking 3 to 5 more of these tiger crunches. Lengthening, not using momentum. And reaching, coming back to stillness. Placing the right hand down. And then we're going to, once again, take that left leg out. Extend the foot out, placing it down on the mat, and then hinging up into our gate pose. Take that deep cleansing breath all the way up, and then reach that left hand down the left leg. Eye gaze comes up to the right elbow, finding the length through the right side body. Deep breath in, focusing on clearing out the lungs here. And inhale up, exhale, right hand down, left hand reaches overhead, reaching the fingertips away from the toes, finding length here. Inhaling all the way up, one more time over to the left. Really focusing on taking that breath all the way to the bottom of the lungs. Inhaling, coming back up, last time to the right, and reaching all the way over to the left. And coming back up, we're going to hinge forward at the waist, placing those hands back down. Left leg comes in to meet the right, meeting back in our tabletop position. Taking a few cat-cows here. And we're going to press it back here into child's pose. Reaching, stretching, lengthening. And coming up into cat, pressing the mat away from you. And pushing it back into child's pose. One more time, back up to cat. And one more time, back to child's pose. Pushing it all the way up and through to knee plank here. We're going to take an optional chaturanga. If you'd like to just stay in knee plank, please do so. And now we're going to lower all the way down to the belly, tucking those knees in, bringing the feet down to the mat. Forehead comes down to the mat. Palms are going to be down, face down on the mat by our shoulders. We're going to exhale all that air out. And then take a nice big inhale, pressing up into our cobra pose. Only pressing up as far as your body wants to go, pushing up and out. And lower and back down. Staying in position, getting ready for second set of cobra. Exhale and inhale, pressing the mat away from you. Like you're rounding and curling your back around a beach ball here. And bringing it all the way back down. We're going to tuck those toes, we're going to press it up onto the knees and then up into our downward facing dog. Pressing our palms into the mat here. Pressing the heels down and away. Equal pressure in the feet as the hands. Dropping the chest down to the thighs. And pulling it forward into our high plank here. We're going to take an optional chaturanga. If you'd like to just stay in plank, please do so. And pushing up and back into our downward facing dog. Pedal it out here. We're going to hop, step, or jump all the way to the top of our mat here. Scoop up the earth energy, take a half lift, bring it back down. We're going to hold in ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows. Taking a nice deep breath here. And release those hands. Hands come to heart center. We're going to zombie roll all the way up. Hands coming up through heart center. All the way up. And slight back bend. Hands come up overhead. Our hands come into Kali Mudra. So we're going to interlace our fingers, releasing the pointer, and thumbs are crossed at the back. Reaching those fingers all the way up. We're going to take spirals here. We're going to spiral to the right. Affirming to ourselves, I'm supported in life in all directions. Come to stillness and then circle to the left. Reaching those hands all the way up. Pop that left hip out just an inch and reach over to the right. Coming into Ardha Chandrasana. Take a deep breath. If this is a little much on the shoulder, you can always drop that right hand down. Inhale, coming back up to center. Resetting, lifting the fingers up. Shooting that right hip out just an inch and then hinging over to the left here. Taking a deep breath, eye gaze can follow that right elbow. Again, if it's too much on that shoulder, or if dropping the arm helps you get a little deeper here. Find that inhale, and bring it all the way back up. We're going to swan dive all the way down to the ground here. Come into a half lift, forward fold, and we're going to bring it all the way back up through heart center, all the way back to the top, and exhale. We're going to come into eagle pose now, one of our balancing poses and heart opening poses. So from Tadasana, take a slight bend in your knees, kickstanding the right toes. We'll take those right toes and just cross them over the left foot. Take the arms out nice and wide. We're going to take the right hand coming underneath the left, and we're going to just give ourselves a nice big hug here. Squeezing, squeezing. If you'd like to take this pose a little further, we can take the vines. You can take that right ankle and wrap it around the left. And then if it's in your practice, taking the arm bind, palms come together, and we squeeze here. Thumbs are parallel to the nose. Finding our stillness, finding our peace, finding that in eagle pose we fly high above all of life's drama, leaving it all behind. Take one more breath wherever you are, squeezing the thighs, squeezing the elbows together. And on your next breath, release those arms, release the feet. Bring the hands all the way up and swan dive it all the way down to the ground. Take a deep breath here. Take a moment, maybe grabbing opposite elbows, maybe swaying back and forth here. Whatever feels good. We're going to take that half lift, bring it back down to the ground. Take those feet and let's bring them 2 fist distance apart here. Coming into our Padahastasana from the front. We can stay right here, or we can take it to the next level, taking those peace sign fingers, wrapping them around the big toes, and then gently using the biceps to draw the crown of the head down towards the mat. If you'd like to take this pose to the fullest extent, you can take those palms, place them underneath the feet until the toes hit the wrist crease. And then we do the same motion. We gently draw the crown of the head down to the mat using those biceps. It does not matter how much your knees are bent here. Give yourself a nice good bend in the knees so the belly comes to the thighs. Allow that head to relax. Just let it hang, releasing any tension in the jaw, from the third eye. Maybe shaking the head no here. And then shaking the head yes. Always ending on a positive. One more breath. Affirming to ourselves and move forward with confidence and grace, without fear. And wherever you are, let's release those hands. Take a little shake in your legs here. Take a half lift, scoop up that earth energy, bring it back down. Pull those feet back in together and let's swan dive all the way up to the top. Slight back bend, release. Bringing those hands back down to heart center, meeting in Tadasana. We're going to take our eagle pose from the left now. So let's kickstand the left toes. And then gently just place them on the opposite side of the right foot. Taking those arms out nice and wide. Let's take those left fingers, cross that left arm underneath the right, and give ourselves a nice big bear hug. Take a deep breath, and if you'd like to stay in this version of eagle, it's a beautiful pose. You're getting the same benefits as if you took the bind. If you'd like to move further, please take those binds with the arms and the legs. And then when we're all here, squeeze the elbows together, squeeze the thighs together. Working on detoxifying our system, working on opening that heart from behind, working on leaving all our old past worries behind us. Taking 2 more deep breaths wherever you are in this pose. Finding that peace. Finding that stillness. And let's open those arms back up. Release the foot, hands come up overhead. And let's swan dive it all the way down to the ground. Take a half lift here, bring it back down, and just let your body relax here for 1 more breath. We're going to reach those palms out in front of us, bringing our feet. Step just back a couple of feet and come into our downward facing dog here. Shake those legs out if it feels good. Maybe pump the calves here. Finding a little length. Pressing that heart down to the thighs. And coming forward into plank. Holding it here or taking an optional chaturanga. Our last chaturanga of class today. And pressing it back down into downward dog. We're going to lift up that right foot, roll the ankle, and then stack that right hip on top of the left, bending the knee, coming into scorpion tail dog. See if you can find those toes over the left shoulder. Maybe you look under the shoulders, maybe that's where your toes are. And then bringing that leg all the way through into pigeon. Getting our base of our pigeon nice and set, making sure that left leg reaches nice and straight behind you. Our aim is to get our shin parallel to the top of the mat. I'll let you know when I get there. Reaching the crown of the head to the sky, allowing gravity to do its job for just a moment. And then when you're ready, bringing those palms out in front of you, coming down to the elbows, coming down to maybe a block, a blanket, maybe just staying propped up on your elbows here, or bringing your forehead all the way down to the mat if it's in your practice. Just allowing your body to relax in this pose. Using the breath. If you're finding that you have areas of tension, maybe imagining that breath as a white healing light. And with every inhale, you inhale that white healing light to that tension. And allow it to swirl around, enveloping the tension, and then with every exhale, breathing it out, releasing just a little further. Wherever you are in your pigeon, just allow yourself to be without judgment. Take 5 more deep, cleansing breaths here. With each breath, allowing your body to sink a little deeper into this pigeon pose. When you're ready, only when you're ready, gently starting to lift up. If your forehead was on the mat, coming back to your elbows. If your elbows were on the mat, coming back to your palms. Lifting your torso up, gently pressing into the mat. Taking a deep breath, and then pressing the palms into the mat, tucking the back toes, lifting up, shooting that right leg all the way back into our downward dog, and shake it out here. Get a little Shakti shake going, pump those heels up and down, find that blood coming back to your lower extremities. And coming back to stillness, take a deep breath here in your down dog. And then let's lift that left leg all the way up to the sky, rounding through the ankles, pointing and flexing. And then take that knee and bend it, stacking the hips, left on top of the right, and looking over that right shoulder. Seeing if you can find your toes. Taking one more breath here, reaching the toes back, and then bringing that left leg all the way forward, pulling it in and through, coming into pigeon on the left side. You might find that one side is a little different from the other. That's okay, never judging. Just noticing, making sure we have that right leg this time nice and straight behind us. Toes are pointed out. Keeping that left foot nice and flexed to protect the knee here. Inhaling up, allowing gravity to do its job and sink the hips down to the mat. One more inhale here, and then when you're ready, bringing it down into your version of pigeon. Bringing it down to the elbows, maybe stacking the fists here, placing the forehead on the fists, or bringing it all the way down to the mat. Your choice, this is your practice. You always only go where your body wants to take you. Never experience pain in yoga. If you're experiencing pain, ease back out. Taking several nice deep breaths, allowing your body to just relax into the pose. If you have a block at home, maybe taking a block and placing it underneath your left glutes. Allowing for that support. Sometimes when we're supported, we're able to move deeper into our postures. Just like in life, we need support. Taking 5 more deep breaths here. Maybe allowing that breath to become that white light. Using it for healing, using it for what it was intended for. Our prana is our life force. And when you're ready, gently starting to press the hands into the mat. Wherever you were, coming up, taking one more nice deep breath in our seated pigeon here. And then pressing the fingertips and the palms into the mat, tucking those right back toes, pressing up and bringing that left foot back into our downward dog. Shake it out here. Shake it out, gently pressing those heels back, pressing the chest back towards the thighs. And then bringing it forward into a high plank. And then gently tucking those elbows in and lowering it all the way down to the mat. Bringing that right ear down to the mat. We're going to take our left leg here and bring it out into half frog. Ankle, knees, and hip all at 90 degrees. Our arms are cactus by our side. Just taking breaths here. Coming back down. slowing the breath down. If it feels good to you, you can always take that left ear and place it down on the mat here, giving yourself a little bit of a twist in the neck. If that feels a little too intense, please just keep the right ear down on the mat. Taking 2 more deep breaths in this pose, just allowing that hip to open to the earth. And then bringing that forehead back down to the mat if you had your left ear down. And then let's bring the left leg down to meet the right, bringing both the feet up and just swishing them back and forth once or twice to reset the spine. And placing both feet down, taking the left ear to the mat, bringing the right knee out this time. Right knee, right hip, and right ankle are all at 90 degrees here. Again, if it feels good to you, if your neck is able to go there, placing that right ear down on the ground, finding a little deeper twist in the neck here. Allowing the breath to sink the hip a little deeper to the earth. One more breath. And then let's bring that forehead back down to the mat. Right leg comes to meet the left. Bring both feet up. Windshield wiper back and forth. And then we're going to roll into fetal position on either side, not overthinking it, just picking a side. Bring those knees up into the chest. Our head can rest on our bicep. And I want you to think of 3 things you're grateful for today. When times are hard or stressful, one of the best things we can do is practice gratitude. Every day, think of 3 things you're grateful for. When we practice gratitude, we realize that what we have is enough. And then gently rolling onto your back from here. We're going to bring those knees up into the chest, giving yourself a nice big hug here. If it feels good to rock back and forth, please do so. Just hugging, hugging. When we get a 20-second hug, we release oxytocin into our system, making us a little bit happier. And let's bring those feet up here, reaching for the outer knife edge of the feet, coming into happy baby. We're going to keep that tailbone down on the ground, drawing the feet down with the palms, but pressing up on the palms with the feet in opposition. If you'd like, you can play around with this pose. This is our bliss pose, Ananda Balasana. Maybe straightening one leg out, bringing it back in, straightening the other, maybe straightening both together, maybe finding some motion here. Whatever feels good to your body. And one more breath. And bringing the soles of the feet back down to the mat. We're going to place those soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to just drift down towards the mat, coming into sleeping butterfly. You can flutter your butterfly wings here or just stay in stillness, whatever feels good to you. Always remembering this is your practice. Gently taking those palms, placing them on the inner thighs, not pressing. Just relaxing the palms into the thighs. And one more breath here. Taking those palms to the outer thighs, gently bringing the knees back together. And then allowing those legs to come down to the end of the mat here. Reaching the hands up overhead, interlacing the fingers, palms reverse. Finding one more deep stretch here. Taking that breath all the way in, all the way down the lungs, down the belly. Stretch the fingers away from the toes. Reach, 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 reach. And bring the palms down by the side. Allow those feet to relax out to the sides. Placing the palms up for receiving or down for releasing anything back to the earth that might not be serving you. Coming back to our breath. Always coming back to the breath. Scanning the body here from head all the way down to the toes. Just noticing, not judging. Allowing your body to soak up all that beautiful energy you just created. Just taking some deep breaths here. Allowing the mind to come back to our intention that we set at the beginning of class. Maybe your intention has changed during your practice, and that's okay too. Wherever you're at, just focusing on being present. So grateful that you decided to join me today. Please stay here in your Shavasana as long as you need. We'll be holding space for you over the next few weeks virtually, and we hope that you'll join us day after day, and together we'll make it